So we're out on a service call for a plugged up toilet, and probably you have this at your house, especially at the holidays. You've got guests over and you've got a toilet that's just overflowing and backed up. One of the scariest things as a serviceman coming out here to do a call is we don't know what's under that lid. In other words, it could be a real mess. Hopefully it's not. I can remember years ago, back in the early 80s, when I worked at Roto-Rooter down in Tampa, Florida. And, we would get these calls around the holidays, and you'd come out and you'd open up that lid, and oh my gosh, it was so bad. You can imagine. And so we're going to take a look inside of this lid and see what condition we're going to be working with today. And, not so bad, not so bad. Pretty clean. And I can probably tell right away, this is just a waste and toilet paper stoppage. So not so bad, but I also notice that up here on the top of the tank, that there are items that could drop into this bowl and get clogged. Things like cleaning brushes, razors, combs, brushes. Those things are easily knocked down in the toilet, and that makes it a much more difficult stoppage to open. But I'm going to show you some simple techniques, and you'll be able to open this toilet up, unclog it in just a few minutes. So probably you've seen the videos where they talk about using baking soda and white vinegar. And you might even remember as a kid doing those experiments. And what it does is there's a reaction between the vinegar and the baking soda that kind of makes it boil, makes it bubble. And, I'm not a big believer in these home remedies, although I know that people try them and they do open up toilets if it is waste. If it's a feces. But if it is a solid piece of plastic like this, it's not going to work. And really, let's just give it a try, see if it works. So the home remedy is to use some baking soda. We're going to pour about a cup of it down in here. And then we're going to pour some white vinegar on top of that. And we should start to see a reaction. You see it right there? It definitely makes a reaction. We need to wait about 15 minutes for this to see if it works. So we had an instant reaction from the baking soda and the vinegar, and you can see it's still kind of bubbling. Can you see that? It's still kind of bubbling, but what we'll find out in 15 minutes or so is, did it get down through the trap? Remember, these things have traps, and that waste is more than likely back in the back of this trap. Can you see that trap? It's probably back in the back. So how could that water get through from up top and get down past that trap? We're going to find out if this home remedy actually works. Okay, we've got the GoPro, we've got the stopwatch, and will this work? Toilet paper actually dissolves by itself in about 20 to 30 minutes, and it's biodegradable. It's made to do that. Feces, waste, it actually softens and dissolves also in about 2 to 3 hours. So did this work? You decide. Okay, so it's been 24 minutes and you can see nothing happened at all. I still see some motion from the reaction of the baking soda and the white vinegar, but nothing really happened, and the water level didn't drop 1 centimeter. So a lot of people ask, or they write in the comments, that when they flush their toilet, it actually comes up in their bathtub or their shower, like right here. So when we flush that toilet, sometimes that water's coming up here. What does that mean? Let me show you what's going on when we go down. We'll go down in the crawl space, and I'll show you the plumbing so you understand why that takes place. And again, it's a whole different stoppage than what we're dealing with over here. So here's the tub line. It's a 2-inch line, and you can see where it joins the sewer line, the main line. If that sewer line is backed up further on out as it heads out to the street, then of course, when you flush the toilet, all the water from the toilet is going to come up in the shower because it's the lowest point. As you look at the rest of the plumbing, you'll see the lavatory sink. If you run water in the lavatory sink and there's a stoppage further back, of course, it's going to come up in the shower. So there's the toilet line, and when you flush that toilet, if the stoppage is in the sewer line further out than where all these things attach, for example, the tub line, remember it ties in right up here. And if there's stoppage beyond this point out here, then all that water is going to come up into your shower or bathtub. Okay, if you don't have a plunger, this is what I would recommend. But remember that you're doing this at your own risk because this could overflow. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a bucket of water, hot water, and force this down into the toilet. I'm going to pour the whole thing in here, and hopefully it's going to have enough force and weight of the water to flush this thing through. Let's find out. We'll give it a few seconds here. It should drop. I was just ready to put the plunger in there and the bucket trick worked. Take a look at that. Okay, the bucket trick worked, but let's take a look at this, how we really should open this toilet, and that is to use the plunger. Watch this. Okay, we're going to go ahead and try the plunger. And if you don't have a plunger, I would suggest you get one with a stem, because this is going to make a really tight seal there at the bottom of the bowl. It's a much better plunger than ones that are like this. You know, those plungers, they work, but this one is much better. And the way that we're going to do this is we want to fill up that plunger a little bit, get a little bit of water in it, and we're going to push this down to the bottom of this tank, this bowl, and we want to get a good seal right on top. The way the plunger works is we're going to push down and pull back. The actual way that this works is that as you pull back, it's going to loosen that stoppage. So let's push down and pull back. Push down, pull back. You got to do it hard. And there it goes. Just like that. We've got that thing open. Now, before we say it's open, we need to do one more thing. And this is where I like my bucket of water, because I'm just going to pour it down in there directly all at once. And you can see that toilet is clean. There's some debris here, but that line of the toilet inside the bowl is clean. So let's go ahead and test it with some toilet paper. Always test it. Don't just think it's clean. Put a good amount of paper in there, just like it would be your waste, and let's go ahead and flush it. Very nice, very nice. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up a little bit for the customer, and this is really all done. Okay, so what if the plunger and the bucket trick didn't work? Let me show you a clip of how a toilet auger works. The hook at the bottom of the toilet auger can sometimes grab a hold of a stoppage. In other words, maybe there's a piece of plastic down there, whatever it is. Sometimes that can grab a hold of it and pull it back. It can also push itself through waste and toilet paper. You really have to force the auger down and through the trap. There's many bends in the bowl of the toilet before it reaches the flange. And you can see how much tension you can build up on something. So it grabbed a hold of something and you can see the tension. Let's go ahead and pull this back and see what we have on the end of it. So you can see this is a feminine product, and it's probably a Kotex, whatever it is, but the auger did work and it grabbed a hold of it. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day.